morning. I think we're live. Good morning and welcome to another live with on Saturday morning with Marc Neumann, me, your host. Today we will be talking about irritable bowel syndrome. Sometimes it's a bit of a tongue twister, but if anybody's on, I'm looking to see if we have some connectivity there. Give me a thumbs up if everybody can hear me. I'm just going to wait a little while before we get into the whole process. Okay, we have some viewers going on there. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear me. Just want to make sure that I'm not speaking to fresh air. Welcome to live. Who's ever joining on live on Saturday mornings with Marc Neumann. Okay, so it looks like we have a connection. So I'm your host, Marc Neumann, and every Saturday morning at around 10 o'clock, I'm going to go live on Facebook and I'm going to share some amazing information with you. Now, what's this information about? It's going to be about everything to do with your health, everything to do with the human body, everything to do with the human species. You see, many years ago, I was in a state of ill health and ill wellness. And with the ingredients that you can see behind me and the blender and these bags, I was able to literally blend myself healthy and and really walk away from every single ailment that was inside my body. Now, you can read all about it in my book called Did I Eat Toxic? It's a free download on the website dideattoxic.com, but I'm not going to get into those details now. You can read about that. What I'm going to talk about today is irritable bowel syndrome. Now, if anybody's ever suffered from any sort of cramp or diarrhea or constipation or, something to do within your gut and you don't know what it is, generally that's part of the irritable bowel syndrome aspect of life. Hey doc, I've got a pain in my stomach. Okay, take this medicine and 24, 48 hours, you should be better. That's not what is making anything healthier because, a week or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later, you're back in the same space. So the definition of irritable bowel syndrome is pretty simple. It's a conglomeration of challenges that form themselves inside your system from time to time through, again, constipation, through diarrhea, through pain, through aches, through things that we don't quite know. And ultimately what it is, it's a redness and a soreness inside your belly in little pockets. It's not interconnected, but it's in little spaces and places. And if you remember me going back to a few talks ago talking about inflammation, you will realize that inflammation is the cause of everything. So inflammation is the cause of irritable bowel syndrome. So what exactly is it? It's the inflammation of your cells inside your belly. Why does it happen? It happens simply because the foods that you're eating are highly acidic, and so therefore the cells close themselves out, therefore they become dormant, and all the nutrition that's supposed to go in is just lying dormant outside. All the acidity are burning up the cells, and so it creates inflammation. I want to just explain something to you quickly. If anybody ever gets a cut, and we've all had a cut, we've seen exactly what happens. There's a slice, it gets red and sore for a few days. If it's bleeding, great, we cover it up with a Band-Aid, we stop the blood, take it off a few days later, there's a scab there, the scab falls off, and all of a sudden there's just a little bit of a scar. But that's the most basic element of humanity or the human species, that we can actually repair ourselves. And so if you think about that on the outside of your body, a cut, imagine that on the inside of your body where there is no air, so the blood cannot oxidize, where there's complete softness and it's warmth and it's hot. And so the body is trying, in so many different ways to combat the inflammation that's happening. And so when you eat something that it doesn't want, it'll force it out your system. Hence we get diarrhea. When it's craving nutrition, and you give it the wrong foods, sometimes it takes so long to draw any little bit of nutrition from that food that you've given it, that it actually ends up becoming so hard and all the water's drawn out in your stomach that it becomes constipation. Sometimes the red and the sore inflammation areas inside your bowels, inside your body, and the little pockets just overheat, and they become really painful and they become really sore. Now, we've discussed the where and the when. Now, the why is we understand now that it's all food related. If you go to your doctor and you explain to him or her about stomach pains, they can't give you any nutritional advice because they're not trained that way. They're trained to treat the cause or not the cause, treat the area, and hopefully that does the job. What inflammation and what IBS stems from is the wrong foods over a long period of time. I've mentioned this before in one of my talks, that Socrates said that inflammation doesn't happen just overnight. It happens from years of abuse on a species, on a system, on a cellular system, and we're that exact system. So to give you a little bit of what I used to go through quickly when I was suffering from irritable bowel, I mean, it's the topic that one doesn't really talk about all that often, but so many of us are going through it. I used to suffer tremendously when I was in the food industry. And I loved the food that I was eating, and it didn't actually bother me what I was eating. I just loved it. But I would sit on the loo for, sometimes half an hour, 45 minutes after that, with tears running down my face, crouched over in pain at this just absolute disarray that was going on inside my body. And so, 13, 14 years ago is when I decided to do something about it. And so how did I reverse inflammation in my body? Well, it was not really a hard feat. It was literally day by day. I started researching, cellular nutrition. I started researching what my body really needed. I started researching what I was giving it, and realized that the weighting of what I liked and what my body needed was literally, as you can see, it was miles apart. And so slowly, day by day, I just started really taking the food that I started consuming really started being what I'm holding in my hand now. So it was the 32 ingredients, and all the other food that I was consuming completely dropped off the spectrum. And I just did that one day at a time. And you can too do it one day at a time. I think that's the basic message about what these information sessions are all about, is letting you know that you can do it. We are a human species. We were put on this earth for some purpose. Whatever your purpose is, I'm sure you're trying to find it, or you're on it. This is my purpose. My purpose is to show you how the 20th century food moguls and industries got it wrong. They got it right for our flavor and for our taste and for our experience, for our human experience. But man, did they get it wrong for our bodies. And so I'm here to tell you that when you flip that switch and you are at that point where you just can't deal with irritable bowel syndrome anymore, where you can't deal with the pain, where you realize that the food that you're eating, as great as it is creating havoc with inside your system, well, then it's time to do something about it. Now, what do you do about it? Well, this is a really good question. Excuse me for 1 second. The question is, where do you start? Where does one start to get rid of these pains and these aches that are food related? Well, you can cut out your carbs, you can cut out your sugars, you can cut out your fats, you can cut out your pastas, you can cut out many different things, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be working in a 20th century environment. Or you can literally flip a switch and go back to what Mother Nature gave us millennia ago, because it's all cellular connective. Again, we're a cellular species. That's a cellular product. The plants behind me are cellular as well. And so we're all interconnected. And so just like your body heals on the outside, food and nutrition and fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and greens literally heal you from the inside. They cool that inflammation. They allow the burning pockets of the syndrome, the irritable bowel syndromes, to be satisfied. They soothe that pain. They allow your body to digest and to really ingest the vitamins and minerals. So you can spend years kind of researching this, or you can just take my word for it and know that what I've spent years on researching and developing actually has helped many hundred people along the way. In avenues, not just in irritable bowel, but from lowering cholesterol levels to better sleep patterns, just to overall health, lowering blood pressure. In fact, you can check out my documentary on blendyourselfhealthy.com, and you can see how 10 volunteers literally changed their lives within the 28-day period of the actual full body reboot. But again, I say, let's start day by day. So I want to introduce you to the daily body cleanse, which we've already seen. It's called Foodicyn. We've got the gold, we've got the green, we've got the red energy, and then we've got the nutty protein porridge. And that's basically the way to kind of turn that switch off and turn everything on in your body. So by committing to Foodicyn, even just day by day, you are able to reverse your cravings. You are able to walk away from the things that make you feel awful, and you walk towards the things that are going to make you feel alive again. So how do you get involved in Foodicyn, and how do you get it to your table, or how do you get it to your fridge? There are two ways that you can do it. The first way, I'm only one man, so at this point in time, I can only service a 40-kilometer radius of the Greater Toronto area. So if you happen to fall in that area, you can log onto my website at foodicyn.com, and you can choose whether you want to try the 2-day trial package, or you can commit to this amazing cleanse for a 1-week program. Again, you'll get these 4 products that are behind me. You've got the red, the green, the gold, and the nutty porridge for a really good price, and it gets delivered to your door on Sunday evening. So to offer you a great incentive, if you purchase it before midnight this evening, I will deliver it tomorrow morning, or I should say tomorrow evening by 9 o'clock. And at that point, you will also get a 10% discount. So if you get onto the website now and you order your 2-day trial or your 7-day full body cleanse, you will get that 10% discount. And please always remember, I take care of your taxes and I take care of your delivery. So my goal is to get this into your hands and into your fridge and into your body as quickly as possible to help you reverse those diseases inside your body. And when I say diseases, I actually mean diseases, because it's the unease, it's the dis-ease that we're trying to beat here and trying to cure. So that's the first part. The second aspect of it is, you can see these beautiful 32 ingredients in here. All I do is put them into the blender, and out you get those amazing products. But I've spent many years developing a self-help coaching website where I've recorded the step-by-step program of how to make the red, the green, the gold, and the yellow, how to chop it, how to dice it, how to prep it, how to put it in your fridge, how to store it, and obviously there's all the information about how to consume it. So that if you're outside of the Toronto area, I'm happy to be there for you. There's also, if you join on that platform, which is blendyourselfhealthy.com, and once you sign on to it, you will have access to booking free phone calls with me, free 15-minute phone calls to help you on your journey. The whole goal about this is to be there to cradle you, for 7 days, for 28 days, however long you need it. I want to be there for you. So your one-time fee on the Blend Yourself Healthy website allows you full access to the entire methodology of the red, the green, the gold, and the porridge. And all I can say is that you've got this, I've got you, and you've got this. And so with me in your corner, as have many clients over the years, seen that, I will not let you down. If it's delivery that you need, I'll be at your door Sunday evening. If it's the methodologies that you require, I'll be there for you. Whenever you book a phone call, it's up to you to take the steps. So I urge you to take whatever steps are necessary. Again, day by day on foodicyn.com, you can do a 2-day trial, or you can do a 7-day detox. Blendyourselfhealthy.com, a one-time payment fee. You have the entire methodology at your fingertips to do it every day, to do it once a week, to do it whenever you need to, just to build up that healthier body and reverse dis-ease of all kinds in your body. I'm Marc Neumann, and I hope to see you on the other side of your health and wellness dreams.